Hello, English language learners. Let's see how many of you are going to be in today's session. I hope many of you are going to join, or there are chances that maybe only few people will show up, because I understand that so many things are happening worldwide, and especially the COVID, right? And it's spreading again. So, I hope you all are getting your vaccination. So let's see, I can see one English language learner. So I think we can wait. And if you are here, say hello, hi, good morning, good evening, wherever you are at this time. So no one is here yet. So we can wait for a few minutes. If you are here, say hello, hi, and tell me who are you, your name, and how are you, right? There's a difference. Who are you? How are you? And sometimes English language learners get confused with this, how and who. So because when you listen, you easily get confused. How are you? Who are you? Right? So if I'm saying, how are you? That means I want to know about how are you doing, right? If I say, how are you? You can say, I'm good, right? I'm fine, right? Or I'm doing great. So there are so many ways. Or I'm okay. Or I'm not good, right? So then it depends on who is asking you too. So if someone is like your friend, and they might gonna ask you why. If you say, oh, I'm okay, oh, not good, then they might gonna ask you, right, what happened, why you are not happy, right? But if you are in a formal setting, like where you are where you are like in a office setting or in an interview, and they ask you how are you, most of the time you will just say, oh, I'm great, oh, I'm good, right? Okay, and who are you? Then you tell your name. Who are you, right? And when someone asks you, who are you? Just give a brief, like just your name. I am. And if they ask you more about, what do you do for living, or where do you live, then give that information. But I noticed even when I had my Zoom sessions and I used to ask students, how are you? Or who are you, like who are you especially, and they just give all that information that is like not required for that question. So please make sure, try to be brief. And then if someone asks you what's your first name, just tell the first name. And if someone say, how do you spell that, then spell your name, right? If your name is Harish, and then just say HARISH, Harish. And especially if someone is writing down your name, right? You need to be slow down. Spell one word at a time clearly. And then if someone say, what's your last name? Then tell your last name only. And if they say, how do you spell that? Then spell it, right? Just again, don't spell it fast. Oh, H-A-R-I-S-H-R. Oh, G-U-P-T-A Gupta. No, not like that. Slow down. G-U-P-T-A. And sometimes, like especially here in America, because they are not familiar with many names, foreigners' names, especially Indians' names or any other countries, right? Then we spell them sometimes with with the word next to it. For example, if someone's name is like last name is Singh, for example, then they're gonna say S for song, I for ink, like N like notebook, G like goat, H like horse. So then it's more clear, right? So that's and then if someone asks you your address, you can just tell your address. If someone asks you your phone number, your cell phone number, tell your phone number. So that's the way we, get the information from each other. So now my question to you is, you are here. Now I can see 4 English language learners are here. And I, in the comment section, there was one question. It was from a teacher who teaches like college students or high school students maybe, and was asking for, the effective way to teach English. So, I mean, it's not possible for me to give answers, give answer in 2 or 3 sentences, because that is something, it's a very broad question, right? Hey, Deepak Barua. Okay, yes, Deepak Barua, good to see you. Now I can see that there are 6 English language learners are there, but I didn't see anyone is participating. And I don't know how many of you actually watched actually this morning. Yours was this morning and mine was yesterday. I uploaded the video about my live streaming lessons intro, what I am planning to do, what we are going to practice in these classes, how we are going to practice, what are the things you need to bring in the class. Hey, Aditya Singh, good to see you. So I hope you watched that video. And if you didn't, then I posted there that I mentioned in that video that you need to keep one notebook when you join the live class. If you are serious about enhancing your English language skills, and I know if you are here, that means you are interested to improve your skills, right? And that can happen only if you participate actively, not only in these sessions, but I mean, it's not only that if you are learning from me, but wherever you are learning, try to be active learner. And I know, because I grew up in India, you know that, right? Many of you know this. And the difference in Indian education and in American education is that in India, we have more passive learning. So the passive learning means teacher is talking, right? And the students are sitting in the class and saying, yes, ma'am, yes, agreeing with everything, hardly posing any questions. I don't know if that method changed now. I don't know. So if it's changed, it's good. And it should be, right? Because when you are learning like this, like the teacher is talking and you are listening, and while you are listening, You think, oh, you know this. Now you remember this, you remember this, you remember this. But it's not I am saying it. Yes, I have experience, right? But the research, the psychologists are saying that you remember a least information. I mean, they have the percentage also, like maybe 10% or 15%. They all have a different norms, but it's not a lot, right? But if you are participating actively, that means you are trying to be inquirer, okay? Inquiring. You are posing questions not to the teacher, maybe, but posing questions to the text. That means whatever the information you are learning, you are in it, right? So not the memorization method, because when you memorize something, you don't, that will not gonna last, and sometime you will not even know how to use it. Okay, so I hope you are ready for today's lesson, and if you are ready, let's see. If you can tell me if you are ready, then I will show you the reading. The first, this is informational text. If you know, there are different kinds of text. When the author writes something, they write, their purpose is different, right? So what is author's purpose to write? Sometime when, especially when you read like stories or novels, you read novels for fun, or you watch movies, right? Movie stories or poetry also. The author's purpose is to entertain you, right? And when you are reading the information, like on any topic, for example, whatever it's happening right now around the world, and those kind of informations are informational text, and the author's purpose is to inform you, right? To educate you about the current events, or about the history, or about the science. And if you think about all the science books, social study books, all are informational text, right? And then is the persuasion. The persuasion, the author's purpose is to persuade you, is when you are, like especially the advertisement, or when author wants you to do something, when author wants you to be agree with him or her, right? For example, let's talk about global warming, or right. So the people, those they write about global warming, and they have their own views about it, and they are encouraging you to do something, that is also a persuasive, right? That is informational and persuasive too. But think about the advertisements, right? When all those products in the market, they want to sell you something, right? And they are saying, and sometimes they're going to say, oh, buy one get one free, or 50% off, right? Or this is the best, this is the, all kind of fancy words they use in it, right? Those kind of writings are persuasive writings. So the author's purpose is to persuade you, right? So you can buy that product. Now, but this one is informational, and I want you to read it in your mind, and think about the words, how you will be reading this text, especially the pronunciation wise. And then we will talk about it. Then after this, we have some questions about this text. And then we have the last item will be the strategy. I'm going to teach you how you can retain this information. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, we are here to practice our speaking skills. Are we going to do it with this? Yes, we are. You know why? Because English speaking, again, I don't know why you want to learn how to speak in English. But when you set the limit, you will never be a fluent English speaker. Okay? Keep in mind, if you want to be fluent in English, then do not set the limit what you want to learn. Don't choose it. Just learn anything, whatever you see around, right? Pay attention on every itsy bitsy teeny tiny thing. Okay, now let's read this in your mind, and then I will read it for you, And then you will see there are so many words you might be pronouncing it differently. And if you want to read it loud, please don't worry if anyone is around you. I remember in my Zoom session, I had one student and she said, "Ma'am, my sister make fun of me when I read loud and speak by myself." And I was like, you know what? One day your sister's going to come to you and she will ask you to help her, right? How did you learn to speak? So don't worry what's happening. I just want you to read. I hope you will be able to read it correctly. So go ahead. It's okay if you don't see my face. The more important thing right now is to read the text. Sorry. If you're done, let me know. Done. Okay. Done. Good. Okay. Done. Aditya Singh done. Deepak, did you read it? Okay. So now I will read this and then I want you to notice your pronunciation, how you were pronouncing some of the words. Okay. So let's do that. Over 1,000 years ago, the Navajo began to travel south from Canada and Alaska to the southwestern United States. They met farmers who were known as Pueblo Indians, and the Navajo Indians began to settle near them and learn from them. The Navajo learned how to plant corn, squash, beans, and melons. When the Navajo started using animals in their daily life, they used sheep for wool to make clothes, blankets, and rugs. They also used sheep for food. After the trading posts were built on reservations, the Navajo sold handmade crafts such as pottery and blankets. Today, with over 250,000 people, the Navajo Reservation is the largest in the United States. So now I want you to tell me how many words do you think you were reading or pronouncing differently than I did? Come on, write down. Is there any word you were pronouncing differently? Let's talk about the pronunciation part right at this time, okay? So any word which you were pronouncing differently, and I'm sure you were pronouncing this word differently, because especially the word J is, and this one is a Spanish word, and J in Spanish, the sound is different. The sound is jota. So J in Spanish is jota, not J sound. That's why it's Navajo, jota, Navajo. Okay. Now, also the A sound. A sound is eh, okay? But in India, the A sound is the sound. In America, we have like a E sound. In India, the same sound is for A. So that is the difference. It's that's why I know in India people say Canada, right? Alaska, maybe, but he's Alaska, Canada, right? Like that. Okay, So now I am going, so another thing is about what we were learning this week was nouns, and we were talking about nouns, and we learned the singular nouns and the plural nouns, right? And if you look at this one, how to plant corn, right? But we didn't do this part, the countable and the non-countable nouns, but corn is like a non-countable noun. But if you talk about the corn cob, जिसको आप पंजाबी में छल्ली भी कहते हैं, but उसको हिंदी में कहते हो भुट्टा, भुट्टा, right? You can count those, but you cannot count the corn, right? जो दाने हैं उनके, like that. So then melons are like what you say here, we like watermelons or cantaloupes. So cantaloupes in India are मुझे हिंदी में वो वर्ड याद रह गया, खरबूजा. सो इंग्लिश में शायद मैं इंडियन इंग्लिश में मेरे इस टाइम दिमाग में नहीं आ रहा, लेटर ऑन हो सकता आ जाए. तो so now we can say we need to learn how to pose the questions to this text, right? So think about what kind of information we can find here, what kind of questions we can pose to the text. So ये किसके बारे में बात हो रही है, right? So कौन है, कहाँ से, किसके बारे में, like that. And if you know the 5 W's, like who, what, when, where, why or how, right? All those 5 W questions. Okay. So my first question is, if you are here, please try to participate. And the last activity we will be doing is we will be learning another strategy, how we'll retain the information. Retain, that means whatever we are learning here, how you can keep that information in your mind for the longer period of time, and how you're going to use the information like vocabulary words or the sentence structures, or how to pose the questions in your life also. So it's not the questions or the information or the vocabulary or the sentence structures are not only for this information, but how you are going to use it in other areas also. So that's the way we learn all domains. And right now, I mean, if someone is in my class, I will say the next activity will be, now I want you to go ahead and write down whatever you remember from this text, right? Anything you remember from this text while you were reading. So just write on anything you remember in your notebook. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Let's see if you have a notebook. I don't know, because this is my online, it's not my class, but any words maybe. It's not like you have to write down the like complete sentences. Anything you remember from this text, like it might be 1 word, 2 words, 5 words, 10 words, maybe 2, 3 sentences, who knows, right? But whatever you remember, if you can write down. Let me give you 2 minutes. Even if you will be watching this, my recording later on, I will expect you to do the same way. So have a notebook and a pencil. I will prefer pencil, but if you have pen, that's fine too, because in pencil you can erase it if you make a mistake easily, right? So go ahead, 2 minutes, write down the words you remember, any words or any sentence from this reading, okay? And then we will do the questions, and after that is a 1 strategy. Okay, let's see. Are you there? Are you participating? Please tell me yes, no, or I'm just talking to these walls maybe. I know in the class also sometimes when my students don't speak sometimes, I was like, am I talking to the walls? They're like, no, okay, then speak up, talk, interact, right? Okay, so Any words or the phrases, right? Phrases too. Anything you remember. Okay. Is it too late or too early? Because I don't have many students at this time. Okay. So my first question, but I'm going to ask you a question, and then after I finished my reading question, then I will show you the passage again so you can look up the information in the text. Okay, so my question is, when did Navajo Indians begin to travel to the southwestern United States? So this is the question. Now, if you are in my class, I like my physical class, I expect from my student to answer me in a complete sentence, right? But it's up to you if you are online typing, or if you just want to write down in your notebook, that's fine too, right? Because sometimes it's hard to type here in chat, but just say done. That means you are writing in your notebook. That will be fine. So you don't need to write on the question. But you will be writing the answer. So when did Navajo Indians begin to travel to the southwestern United States? So you can start your answer maybe from Navajo Indians began to travel to the United States when, and then tell me here is your answer. Okay. Look for the information. So when is about time, right? And when we talk about time, it's not like 5 o'clock or 10 o'clock only. Yes, 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, that's a part of time. But time also means something happened today, last night, yesterday, a week ago, month ago, 1 year ago, last year, 10 years ago, 100,000 years ago. That's all time. And that's all is when. I just want to make sure that you can see this. Okay, so I hope you are working. So when is about time, right? When did Navajo Indians begin to travel? When? Okay, now we are going to, so I hope you gave the answer that Navajo Indians, they began to travel 1,000 years ago, right? Yes, 1,000 years ago. Excellent. I am so glad to see that you are participating. You know, it's like for teacher, it's a lot of work, believe me. I wrote down all these questions, not like just wrote down means copied from somewhere. No, I came up with the question because I wrote down this text, and then I was like, okay, what kind of question I can ask from this text? So I just came up with many questions. And moreover, these questions are called direct questions. There are different kinds of questions. Questions are like direct questions, means the information is right there. And the direct questions are the easiest one, because you don't need to think about anything. You just need, the answers are right there. You just need to know how to identify the information, right? And those are called the lower level questions, okay? And these are the lessons, the questions are just the remembrance. That means you just can remember that. Oh, this is here. It's information is here, right here, right? You are not evaluating anything, right? You are not synthesizing anything. These words are for the higher level English. But right now, I'm just talking about the basic, the very basic. Okay, but gradually we will be moving to the advanced level also. Gradually, right? But it takes time. Not gonna happen in one day. Okay, the number 2 question is, and this is also a direct question, information is right there. What are the names of 2 places they began to travel to the southwestern US? So the names of 2 places, so you can read this and then I will show you the text. So what you are going to find, the names of 2 places they started their journey. So wherever they were living, they moved from there, right? So name those 2 places and I am going to show you the text again. Okay. I hope you found the answer, right? Yes. So 2 places were Canada and Alaska. So say it, Canada, Canada, Alaska, Alaska, okay? Alaska, Canada. Yes, so they moved, they traveled from Canada and Alaska. Okay, now, and then we will be summarizing at the end, okay? Because I know it's funny. I don't know if you still practice the same way, but when I was in India, when we were in school, we used to have MBDs, and MBDs were like where you had like all the passages, what you call main ideas, and then the summaries, and students were used to memorize those, right? I never did actually because I don't know. I'm a we all learn differently, right? And I was not a learner like who learns from with memorizing things. No, I always was trying to understand. I always used to talk to the text, right? And I always when I was practicing this and I was looking for my other class, like my friends or the other students, hey, can you please sit with me and I want to talk to you, I want to tell you what I learned about it, like, you know, like teaching or discussing. That's the way I learned, not memorizing any information. Okay, the next one. Where did they start to settle down? Settle, okay? The word is settle, settle down. Where did they start to settle down? So if you see this question, now I'm going to show you where did they start to settle down. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting. And if you are writing in your notebook and you can just say done, then I will move on to the next question. Where did they start to settle down? Place or where? Again, there is no right or wrong answers. It's okay. Just think about whatever you understood. You can write down a name. Yes. Southwestern United States. Yes. Okay. And near the farmers, you can say that too, right? And who are they? We're going to talk about that. Okay. How they used sheep in their daily life. Now, sheep, we learned this word, singular or plural noun, and sheep is sheep. Many sheep, few sheep, several sheep, one sheep, 100 sheep. Sheep will stay same. There is no plural for sheep. Okay, so answer this question, and now I am going to show you the question, how did they use sheep in their day? Oh, this one, the yellow one was for me reading. Okay, here. So, how they use sheep in their daily life. So, you can write down in your notebook and say done, or you can write down in the chat also. How they used sheep in their daily life. Is anyone answering? Okay, yes, they use sheep for blankets, clothes, rugs, and food. Okay, yes, excellent. So, I mean, the sheep, now I have one more question actually. The sheep is a natural resource or human resource? What do you think? Make clothes, blankets, rugs, and food. And rug is like blankets. No, sorry, carpets, right? In India, we say carpets, but rug here we say rug. Carpet, mostly we use the word carpet for when it's a wall to wall, right? But rug is like small carpets, rug. Yes, so they make clothes, blanket, rugs, and they use food. Food means they were using it like a meat, right? A sheep meat. And yeah, yes, excellent, Ashwini. Yes, so sheep is a natural resource, right? Because I hope you know the difference between natural resources and human resources, right? And human resources are the things we make, especially, for example, things we make in the factories, right? Or all kind of other things. We're gonna cover that topic maybe another time. Now, my next question is simple questions. I'm not asking you very hard ones. And even this topic is very simple, but we will go from easy to complex. What did they sell? If you remember, you can tell me. If you didn't remember, I can show you. What did they sell? What did they sell? So again, you can write down in your notebook, or you can write in the chat, or you just can say done and we can talk about it. Okay, yes, handmade crafts such as pottery and blankets. Yes, so the handmade. So craft, I hope you all know, it's like a craft is, you know, the things you make with special skills, right? There are so many things are popular in different cultures, right? And the people, they make, yes, handmade crafts, yes, handmade crafts, yes, nice. Okay, the next one is, what did they sell? And now it's a when. When did they sell? When? When did they sell? Okay, now here, maybe, I hope this is not a tricky question. Sometimes the questions are tricky, right? Okay, let's see. When did they sell? So when we talk about, when we have a question about when, that means we are talking about time, and time is anything. Time can be in future, in past, in sequence, and the number times, right? There are unlimited ways to express time. Many time. Sorry. I hope you are able to see my text. So when smart tube, not exactly. That's why I was saying it was a little tricky question. I mean, you are right, but not 100%. I am asking you a specific time when they started selling. There was something happened and then they started selling. Yes, Aditya. After the trading posts were built on reservation, and I will tell you the reservation in here, because I hope you all know this word reservation, because this is a very common word in India, and we have many. Yes. Okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. There's no sorry. It's smart tube. No, it's okay. I mean, we're learning now. So the reservation is in India. You are very familiar with reservation because we have special quotas for reservation, right? A reservation for the right this caste or this caste, because in India we have caste system. So caste system, but here this reservation is also a place. It is like a special place that is reserved for native Indians. Now, I don't know if you know about Indians here in America. These Indians were not actually from India. Okay, there's a history behind it, because when Christopher Columbus, he actually left, he was from Spain, I think, right? And when he was actually trying to explore India, because India was very famous for spices and gold, right? And Christopher Columbus thought that he is going to explore, or he is going to be in India, so where he can get all the gold and spices. But because on those days there were no navigation system, right? So he accidentally stumbled upon America. So यहाँ पे जब वो आया, then he thought he's in India, so that's why he said, "Oh, I'm Indians," right? So that's the way they people from here, they got the name Indians. And maybe you know it, but the white people here, the English people in America, are not originally from here. They are also immigrant, but they all came uh, about in 400-500 years ago, right? Their forefathers came, so they were actually pilgrims. And but the people from America are Indians, and they have many tribes. And the Navajos, Pablo Indians, Navajo Indians, and Newt Indians. There are many tribes, even in Canada. So people from there are also Indians. So French, uh, and many French, Britishers, people from Europe, right? They came to America as pilgrims. And pilgrims were the people, they were living a hard life in Europe also, because there are so many things. I mean, might gonna learn something later on, but that's the history that इसीलिए कहते हैं कि ये जो अमेरिका है, इट्स अ मेल्टिंग पॉट, ये सबका कंट्री है. बिकॉज जिनका ये कंट्री है, दे आर लिविंग इन अ reservation area, and that's what I was saying. They have their special places, like, so that is the reserved by the land where they all live in their ways. They have a very different system, and that the land is managed by federally recognized American Indians, and they are native Indians. Okay, native means यहाँ के लोग हैं वो. Okay, now what's their population today? That is simple, right? I'm asking you, very simple. Yes, Native Americans. They are Native Americans, yes. But उनको Indians भी कह देते हैं, yes. But Native Americans, native, yes, you're right. So what's their population today? And the last paragraph, you can find the answer, right? So this one is the simple one, their population today, right? So today their population is approximately, I will say, 250,000. Okay, approximately. It's not like the exact number, but that's their population. And what's the name of the other Indians who were farmers? What's the name of other Indians who were farmers there? Name of the other Indians who were farmers. Yes, Ashwini, good. Name of the other Indians who were farmers. Who were farmers? It says they met farmers. And they were No, the farmers, Ashwini, they were different. They met those people over there and they learned how to plant corn, squash, beans, and melons. And they learned actually from them. Yes, Pueblo Indians, yes. One more thing. I mean, it's okay because you are typing in chat, but if you write something, please make sure when you are writing proper nouns, and always the first letter is capital letter, right? Just these are, I know, little things, but if we pay attention, then it becomes our habit. Okay. So now it's how we summarize it, right? How we summarize the information we learned without memorizing it with having a text somewhere written for you. Oh, now ये आपके लिए summary है, इसको आप याद कर लो. Not like that, right? So what do you think? Who we were talking about? We were talking about Navajo Indians, right? What we were talking about, Navajo Indians, that they moved, right? They moved from where? From where? They moved from Canada and Alaska. But where they were heading to? Where they moved? They moved to southwestern United States. Okay. But then where they settled down? Yes, they settled down there in southwestern United States. So who taught them how to plant corn, squash, and what else was there? Who remember? So even if you didn't remember everything, it's okay. So farmers, who were farmers? Oh, farmers were like, I know who are farmers, but I'm just telling you how you retain the information. So the farmers were, I think they were, oh, okay, they were some kind of Indians, Pablo Indians, right? Okay, so if they learned, then that means maybe they were watching them, or maybe the Pablo Indians taught them how to do that, right? And so what else they were using for clothing and for meat? Sheeps, right? So sheep was the natural resource they were using. So they used sheep for clothing, for blankets or for rugs, and they used for sheep for meat also. And then what was there was something about craft. What was that? Oh yeah, they were selling craft, right? So when they were selling craft, when did they start it? Oh, okay. Okay, after they set the trading, because when you sell something, trading, what is trading means, right? When you sell or buy something. So when there were, like, the posts were, what you say, they built the posts, right? And then they started selling their craft. So that means when they were selling, they were trading, they were getting something in return, right? Yes, beans and melons, yes. So it's not like you have to have everything. Summary means who we are talking about, what we are talking about, and when did it happen, and where did it happen, right? So then that's the way you write summary. So you can retain that information. So now whatever you have in your mind about this topic, you can write down, or when you go to bed and then you are going to sleep, and then you think about, okay, so in today's lesson I learned about, so talk. You don't need to talk loud, but talk in your mind silently and talk to yourself. So today, okay, Indian. Oh. So whatever the information comes in your mind. And the other thing you need to do is, so you need to think about today's lesson. As I told you, like when you go to bed, think about today's lesson. You can review the vocabulary words. Any new words you learn, think about in your mind the new words about, like you might learn like about Navajo Indian or the Pablos, or maybe a simple words, maybe melons or something, anything. I mean, I don't know your vocabulary, because you all are on a different levels, and everyone's knowledge of vocabulary is like it's different, right? But then you can think about what kind of questions we posed to the text, right? We were asking about what, when we ask the what kind of what questions, we are looking for like the events, something happened over there, right? Or something we describe, right? So when we ask the question about when, that means we are talking about time. So where, we always, where are you, right? I'm in the living room, that is a place, right? So when we ask about who are you, I'm Dr. DK. Who are they? They were Navajos. Or who are the other tribes? They were Pueblo Indians, right? So how they moved? Did we learn about it? How they moved? But we can guess, right? 1,000 years ago, I don't think so. There were planes or trains, right? Not even uh, maybe 100 years ago, right? But that means they were walking, right? We can see here this what I was doing here right now, because how they were moving, how they were traveling, I am using my previous knowledge, my background information, the information I already know. And what I already know, there are so many things we already know. We might learn in our science class, in our history class, or we already experienced that, right? So then you can connect that information with the new information. Okay, that's the way we improve our skills, our knowledge. And definitely, if you practice this way, you will be improving your all skills. So, and including your pronunciation. I'm again telling you, accent is okay. Everyone has accent. Even in America, people have accent. If you go to South, like in Texas, you easily can figure it out. Oh, this person is from South. Why? They speak English, they speak the same thing, but the way they speak is different. The way they roll their tongue is different. But pronunciation is using the correct syllables when you are saying something is different. For example, one word I can tell you is like psychology. I know in India, uh, many people pronounce this word psychology, and that is not about pronunciation. That is about how you're using the syllables, how you are using the how you are dividing the syllables in spellings. And the actual word is psychology. Psychology. Okay, so not psychology, psychology. So that's what I'm saying. So again, pronunciation, as you know, I'm also born and raised in India. If I can pronounce it correctly, so can you. So I hope you like today's lesson, and I will, if you like it, please give me thumbs up. And even you can write down here in the chat also, what do you think about this lesson? If you like it, if you think it's okay, if you learn something, tell me yes. If you didn't learn something, then say no, I didn't learn anything from this lesson. So if there is anything, so let's see how many students were there. So there were, right now there are 5, I think. But it's okay, because I mean, I came back after a long time. And moreover, again, I can understand there is a lot of stress, especially in every country, but in India, it's is getting bad, right? But you are very welcome. So did it help you, Smart Tube, Aditya, this lesson? Did you like this lesson? Okay, Ashwini, super lesson. So Ashwini, yes, Ashwini, please don't be scared to speak in English. I know the words get stuck in your throat. I know you personally, Ashwini, right? Because you are in my Zoom sessions and you need to speak, Ashwini. Don't be scared, because again, fear is inside. It's not outside. Any kind of fear. It's not only about English, guys. It's about even a ghost or anything. It's all outside. Like it's in your mind. Okay. Yes. Nothing is out there. That kind of like things. It's because if you are mentally more strong. And one more thing I want to talk. The quote I had yesterday, be powerful or powerless, choice is yours. So powerful का मतलब ये तो है नहीं कि कोई बड़ी ताकत क्या है, मन की ताकत, right? Confidence, उसकी बात है ये. तो powerful means confidence build कीजिए अपने में, डरो मत किसी से. बाकी लाइफ में बहुत से चैलेंजेस आते हैं. ये मत सोचो कि नहीं मेरी ही लाइफ में सब कुछ हो रहा है, बाकी सब ग्रास इज ग्रीन. नहीं, वो ऐसा नहीं होता. हर एक की लाइफ में चैलेंजेस होते हैं, डिफरेंट हो सकते हैं, बट चैलेंजेस हैं. तो लर्न टू फेस द चैलेंजेस एंड बी स्ट्रांग. You know, life is not easy, but it's up to us how we're gonna live it, right? So powerful or powerless, right? Make good choices and come out of all those hardships and challenges, or just to keep whining, oh, I cannot improve, I cannot know, I don't know how to do it, I know, please. No, not like that. Please try it, because your inner strength is the most powerful strength. Okay. And we all have it. We all have it. The only difference is some people can recognize it and some people don't. And so the sooner you can recognize, the better it will be for you in life. Okay. So yes, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. So tomorrow is Sunday. That's the reason I will be doing sessions a little late, because I also want to have my weekend a little bit, you know, some free extra time, relaxation time. So that's why I will be doing 9 o'clock tomorrow. Okay. So if you didn't subscribe the channel, and please tell your family and friends and everyone, whosoever. You have many friends in your WhatsApp. Send my link to everyone. Okay. I don't live in India. I know someone was asking me about the app or the Telegram. I don't have time for all that kind of things. I am here. I will be teaching you the way I'm teaching right now. This is my passion. Be here and make the best use of it. If you want it, learn all the strategies and skills. And again, be an active learner. Don't become a passive learners, because learning will happen only when you are participating. It's not teacher talk. It's the students' participation. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed. Okay? Bye.